The slalom race is the most technical event of the World Rafting Championships, with the object being to navigate both upstream and downstream gates. Teams that hit a gate will incur a 5-second penalty, and those that miss a gate entirely will have 50 seconds added to their overall time.
The slalom is my favorite event because it's the most like real river running. It requires technique and a lot of teamwork to maneuver through the gates. We have teams here with nationally ranked slalom paddlers from their respective countries, and we're in for a great show.
Stay tuned, the World Rafting Championship slalom event is up next.
Unlike slalom ski racing, in which skiers go around poles, today's event has 12 gates that teams maneuver through. 8 of the 12 are green downstream gates that paddlers navigate in the direction of the current, and 4 are red upstream gates placed in eddies or slack water in the river. Teams paddle against the general direction of the river to navigate upstream gates. The goal is to be fast and clean through all of the gates, as elapsed time plus penalties incurred when a gate is hit or missed are calculated to determine the overall score.
2, 1, go!
The first 3 gates in flat water are offsets on opposite sides of the river. Gates 4 and 5 at the top of the rapid are downstream, and 6 is an upstream on the right. The eddy at gate 6 must be exited as far upstream as possible to reach gate 7, and the unforgiving course designer clearly intended for this gate to separate the amateurs from the professionals. Gate 8 is downstream in the middle of the current, 9 is upstream tucked in on river right, and 10 awaits teams in a big eddy on river left. 11 is a green downstream in the main current, and 12 is yet another red upstream back on the right. After 12, they paddle the remaining 50 yards of flat water to the finish line. Each team gets 2 runs. The fastest run counts. Slalom makes up 30% of the overall points, and teams study the course from shore as they're not allowed practice runs.
You have to go fast and you have to have clean run, and if you do those 2 things, I think you should win it.
A lot of train, concentration and power.
The American ladies are first going into the slalom race, but are firmly in last place after having 2 bad runs. The inexperienced Kiwi team has a bad first run, but improves dramatically their second time down, finishing 4th. On their second run, the Canadians show us what teamwork is all about, finishing in 3rd place.
Even if we missed 2 gates, we just got it all together and we kept on going straight with our minds focused, and we didn't think of the past.
The Slovakian women are strong and they have 2 great runs. All of the women's teams are having trouble with gate 7, and this team is no exception. But this is their favorite discipline and they've won in the past. By the end of the course, they're elated with their performance. But their joy is short-lived when they find out that the Czech run was even better. The Czech women were able to shave 16 seconds off the already fast Slovakian time by not even attempting to reach the very problematic gate 7. All the other women's teams missed gate 7, but spent many precious seconds trying to reach it. The Czechs were fast and clean in the gates, and their strategy paid off.
The teamwork was great. Yeah, it was fine. We enjoyed it.
The Czech men finished a disappointing 8th in the sprint, and they're hoping to recuperate their losses here. This team won slalom gold in the 2000 Worlds. They train hard and are the 1999 and 2000 European rafting champions. But they have a challenging time on their first run when they lose a paddler and take a 50-second penalty when they fail to get all heads through gate 7. On their second run, they are well on their way to a fast time until they incur a 50-second penalty by bumping gate 11 before negotiating gate 10. This makes 10 what we call a dead gate. The Czech men have done very well in the past, but a 9th place finish does not make for a happy team. Team Canada looks good on the course, but pulling a swimmer back in takes time, and they finish in 5th place. But as usual, it's their great attitude that shines through. The fun-loving Costa Ricans have been practicing. Despite problems at gate 7, a few penalties, and even a swimmer toward the bottom of the course, they finish in 4th place. We'll be right back to see how our top competitors fare on this very difficult race course. Welcome back to the 2001 World Rafting Championships, where our top men's teams are about to tackle a very difficult slalom course. Russia's the reigning world champion. They didn't excel in yesterday's sprint, so a good result today is critical. On their first run, they have some problems and finish in a disappointing 6th place. But this is only practice for them, and they hope to improve their second time down. Next is Germany, and they're fast and clean at the top of the course. They have only a touch on 7 and move well back to gates 8 and then 9. They incur another 5-second penalty at gate 11, but their elapsed time is 12 seconds faster than all other teams. In addition, they have less penalties, so they're firmly in first place with still another run to go. Having won the sprint yesterday, the Italians are in first place, but they touch gate 5, miss the troublesome 7 altogether, and touch 11 while trying to get to 10, which gives them a 50-second penalty. So it's not looking good for the Italians, who are in 6th place after their first run. We're into second runs for our top teams, and it's now do or die for the Russians. They start off well, cleaning the top of the course where they had touches on their previous run. They deftly move through 7 and then 8. Slalom is about making difficult moves while also planning ahead, and these boys are showing us how it's done. By the end of the course, their elapsed time is 7 seconds slower than on their first run, but they are the only team to finish with not a single touch. This very strong run puts them in 2nd place behind the Germans. The Germans have an aggressive start to their second run. The entire team demonstrates gate awareness, always making sure that they're on the right side of the pole, and every paddle stroke is efficient and well placed. They leave the eddy at gate 9 high upstream, making a clean ferry across the river to gate 10. And it's obvious that these guys love the feel of a coordinated team. They take 5 seconds off the first run, and they're ahead of the entire field with only the Italians left to go. There's nothing to do now but celebrate their success and wait to see if it holds. It's now Italy's turn for their second run. They didn't have a good first run, and they must excel now. They have some slalom experience, but this isn't typically their best event. When this team first appeared on the international scene in 1999, they finished 8th overall. But they've made a few changes to their team and have trained a lot. Team Italy has 2 touches, finishing in 3rd place. The Russians are 2nd, and the Germans are the gold medal winners of the slalom event.
Went brilliant, actually. Every upstream gate, we just were very, very tight in the gate, even above, so we could actually sneak under the pole, and that makes the time in the slalom.